Most business plans are written for one of two purposes: to satisfy a bank or to tick a box before a launch. Most are then filed, forgotten, and never consulted again. This is a particular kind of waste, because a business plan, when built with genuine rigor, is one of the most valuable strategic tools a business owner has. It is not a document for investors or lenders. It is a discipline that forces the entrepreneur to test the coherence of the strategy before the market does it for them. Research from the Harvard Business Review and various entrepreneurship studies consistently shows that businesses founded with a formal plan are more likely to reach viability, more likely to secure financing, and more likely to make faster and better strategic decisions than those operating without one. The plan matters. What matters more is that it is built on realistic assumptions, regularly reviewed, and actually used. This video covers the 10 components of a winning business plan. Component 1, the executive summary. Written last, positioned first. A concise, compelling overview of the entire plan that can stand alone as a pitch document. It must communicate the business concept, the opportunity, the team, the financials, and the ask, if there is one, in 1 to 2 pages. Decision makers often read only this, so it must be compelling enough to earn the rest of the document's consideration. Component 2, the business description. Who the business is, what it does, what stage it is at, what its legal structure is, and what its core value proposition is. This section establishes the foundation from which everything else builds. Component 3, the market analysis. Evidence-based assessment of the market opportunity. The size of the total addressable market, the specific segments being targeted, current trends, and regulatory or environmental factors affecting the market. This section is where intellectual honesty matters most. Overstating the market opportunity in a business plan is a common but expensive mistake because it leads to strategies designed for markets that do not exist. Component 4, competitive analysis. An honest, specific assessment of who the competitors are, what they offer, what their strengths are, and where the gaps in the market exist that this business is positioned to fill. The competitive analysis is not the place to minimize competitors. It is the place to demonstrate that the entrepreneur understands the landscape. Component 5, products and services. A clear description of what is being offered, the value it delivers, the pricing model, and the development roadmap if applicable. For service businesses, this section should describe the delivery model with enough specificity that a reader can understand the operational reality. Component 6, marketing and sales strategy. How the business will reach, acquire, and retain customers. This should be grounded in the market analysis. The channels and tactics should match the behavior and media consumption patterns of the target audience. Component 7, operations plan. How the business functions day to day. The production process, the supplier relationships, the facilities, the technology infrastructure, and the operational metrics that define performance. Component 8, management and organization. The leadership team, their relevant experience, the organizational structure, and the plan for hiring and developing key roles as the business scales. Investors and lenders invest as much in teams as in ideas. This section is where the capability case is made. Component 9, financial projections. 3-year income statements, cash flow projections, and balance sheets, with clearly stated assumptions underlying every number. The assumptions are as important as the projections. Realistic assumptions signal financial acuity. Optimistic assumptions without basis signal wishful thinking. Component 10, funding requirements and use of funds. For businesses seeking external capital, a specific articulation of how much capital is needed, for what purpose, and over what timeline. The use of funds should connect directly to the milestones in the plan. Here is the trap. Business plans built for external audiences, investors, banks, are frequently the most polished and the least useful operationally. They are optimized for impression rather than for accuracy. The business plan that drives real performance is the internally honest version, the one where the financial projections are stress-tested, the competitive threats are genuinely confronted, and the management gaps are acknowledged alongside the plan to fill them. Your go-to. If you have an existing business plan, review it against these 10 components. Identify the 2 weakest sections, the ones where the analysis is thinnest or the assumptions are most optimistic. Strengthen those two first. The business plan is the strategic container. The market research video in this series is the intelligence function that makes the assumptions inside that container as accurate as possible. Go there next. The financial model within a business plan deserves the most rigorous intellectual honesty of any section, because it is the section most likely to be constructed around desired outcomes rather than probable ones. The single most useful practice in financial modeling is the scenario analysis, developing not just a base case projection, but a conservative case and an optimistic case, with clearly stated assumptions driving each. The conservative case answers the question: if revenue comes in at 60 to 70% of the base case projection and costs come in at 100 to 110%, does the business remain viable? The business plan that can survive its own conservative case is a business plan built on genuine commercial logic. The one that requires its optimistic case to achieve even basic viability is a plan with a structural vulnerability that investors and lenders will identify, and that the entrepreneur should address before seeking external capital. The operational plan section, often the least developed in business plans produced for external audiences, is actually one of the most strategically important for the entrepreneur's own understanding of the business. It forces the question: how does this actually work? Not the vision, not the marketing, not the financial projections, but the day-to-day operational reality. What is the process by which the product is produced or the service is delivered? Who does what? Where do the capacity constraints emerge as the business scales? What dependencies exist on specific suppliers, specific technology, specific individuals that create operational vulnerability? A business plan that cannot answer these questions has not yet been fully thought through, regardless of how compelling the market opportunity and how elegant the financial model. The business plan is also a living document that should evolve as the business does. The first-year business plan of a successful company looks very different from the third-year plan, because market feedback, operational learning, and competitive developments have all changed the assumptions on which the original plan was built. Entrepreneurs who revisit and revise their business plan annually, not just for external audiences, but for their own strategic clarity, consistently make better resource allocation decisions than those who treat the plan as a launch artifact rather than a management tool. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, hit like and subscribe to our channel for more practical insights. And if you're ready to go further, check out the next video on your screen.